Today on TFL Bike, you join me in gorgeous Aspen, Colorado for the launch of the Ducati DesertX. So this is the first opportunity any of us are getting to actually ride the bike, and the full riding video is going to be coming very soon. But before that actually drops, I want to show you around the bike itself, because this is the first that we're getting to see the real production bike up close. We got to see a pre-production model a few months back, and now we're actually riding the real thing. So at the heart of this beast, what you can hear idling over there is a 937cc Testastretta engine, 110 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. So a decently powerful engine for this bike, considering that it's not only a road bike, it also needs to off-road, so it can't be too unwieldy. And I can tell you from all the riding that we've been doing today, it is a really great, approachable bike to ride on-road and off-road. Does really well in both scenarios, which again, you'll see coming up very soon on the channel. Also very important for what we're doing today are tires. So we have these Pirelli Scorpion Rally STRs, which have been doing surprisingly well on-road and off-road. They can manage a little combination of both, and that's what we've been doing on them today. And just like the rest of the bike, it handles both things pretty confidently. Definitely it's not a sport bike on the street, and it's not a dirt bike off-road, but it's a damn good combination of the two. Some other components that we have here are this monoshock in the rear for 8.6 inches of travel, and this is also adjustable. You can see preload adjustment right there, and then also adjustable 46 millimeter inverted forks, 9 inches of travel there. You've got big dual Brembo brakes up front, and then a 21-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear, and these are laced off-road wheels, tubeless tires. So this is a very durable, good setup for going off-road. You can see a Brembo brake here in the rear as well. And then these particular bikes have a few accessories. So our exhausts are a accessory exhaust from Ducati. They also have these spark arresters because we are riding on the trail. A few other things, a beefier skid plate right here, as well as these crash bars because, again, we're riding off-road. And these are apparently the first 10 DesertXs in the country, so we don't want to do too much damage to them. We also have a guard over the radiator. We've got beefier bark busters, and we've got this little accessory storage. A few other things that you can get for this bike, which are really cool. You can get an auxiliary fuel tank that adds an extra 2 gallons to the already 5.5 gallons in your main tank up front. You can also get aluminum hard cases, and you can get soft cases for storage. So a bunch of different things that you can do to spec this bike out exactly how you want it to be for your off-road rides. And there we go, cruising along the mountains. We're doing about a 100-mile loop today, and these bikes have just been so much fun to ride. Now, looking a little bit at the technology, which is one of the most impressive things on this bike, we can go into the setting menu, riding modes, and then here are all our modes. So 6 different riding modes, each of which are customizable. So you can go in, you can change how much engine power from 4 different settings, 3 levels of ABS, 8 levels of traction control. You've got selectable wheelie control, engine braking control, quick shift, and how your information actually displays on the screen. Then you can take everything back to default. And each one of these modes has an infinite amount of customization, so there's really nothing that you can't do with them. I mean, you can make any one of the modes have any amount of power, any amount of traction control. It's fully adjustable. And I've been most of the day in Enduro, which is the reduced power off-road mode. Rally would be the most aggressive off-road mode, but it's as easy as that to switch your modes. And you can see here is the other configuration for your 5-inch upright TFT. I'll go back to Enduro to show you what that looks like. So a bunch of different things that you can configure with the technology on this bike to just make it all the more set up to your liking, which is a really great thing because for me, I don't have a ton of dirt experience, and so for me to be able to set up this bike with a decent amount of off-road ABS and traction control. That way I can slide this bike around, but it doesn't get out of hand. So it lets it be loose and be fun on the dirt, but never too much so that it gets out of hand. And then also, styling-wise, you can't not talk about the way that this bike looks. Super unique front fairing that is inspired by Dakar bikes of the past, at least partly. Really, really sleek color scheme. Just a little bit of gray and black and red on this satin white body finish. I mean, it's an unbelievably good looking bike. You can see the Italian flag colors here. Little steering stabilizer. Super, super nice components that make up this motorcycle, and it is such a blast to ride. Now, they are expensive. This is $16,795 starting, so it's not a cheap bike to buy. I mean, that's getting you up close to 1200 ADV territory, where you could get a faster bike, even a bike with semi-active suspension, which, although this is adjustable, it doesn't have. So yeah, it's expensive, but it's also a premium product. I mean, this is a really nicely put together bike. Fit and finish on it, and the design is just really like no other. I mean, I would argue that this is the best looking ADV that you can buy right now. So stay tuned to the channel for more videos coming very soon. We're gonna have the full review on-road and off-road, where we take this bike all over the place. We've done a really big ride today, and we're not done yet. And you can see the rest of everybody who's riding with us. So keep your eyes peeled for that video coming to the channel very, very soon, because we've done some really cool stuff on this bike that's worth watching. And yeah, and I'm really, really impressed with how this bike rides. Very few complaints about it. Definitely suspension is pretty soft for carving around on asphalt, but the nice thing is, once you get over dirt, it's unbelievably comfortable. Even though I'm only 160 pounds, that's round about what this bike is kind of designed for, because, you know, I'm apparently the size of most Italians, so this bike fits me perfectly. And it's a decently tall seat. It's 34.4-inch seat height on this regular seat. You can drop that down by about an inch if you get the suspension lowering kit in the lower seat, but it's really not that necessary. I'm 5'10", and on both feet I can flat foot this bike, so pretty impressed with how easy and approachable it is. Also, dry weight of 445 pounds. It's not the heaviest bike in the world, so you can even throw this thing around a little bit more than you would be able to on a big 1200 ADV, which is one of the advantages of an ADV this size. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and again, full review coming very soon. We'll catch you guys in the next video.